Hey everybody, it's me, Jaye, and you're now tuned in to Rolling Out.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Rolling Out. We're here live in the studio in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm joined here by the very special guest, Mia Jaye. Mia, how are you doing today?
I'm okay, and Rashad, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing amazing. Thanks for asking. Just how are you holding up? It's been about 11 months now. How are you holding up? We're all obviously praying for you, especially over here at Rolling Out. Dolph, one of his covers in 2020, Amir Shah, my mentor, one of my mentors, did that story and everything in that cover. Just how are you holding up?
I'm holding up. I would say, finding the words for that. It's like some days I'm cool. Like I feel like I'm cool because I'm accepting my life, how it is, shaped out and things like that. And so I can be in a better place of acceptance. And then some days I'm not, it's one of those types of things. It's like, I don't want to accept this. So it's like a roller coaster ride that I'm on right now, and it's so crazy because when you have such volatile emotions about something, right? It could be like, oh, dang, you good, so that could be easily perceived. And then the days when it's low, it's like, yeah, you low. But it's like, it's just really a roller coaster, hard to explain or conceptualize. Right. But me being on the roller coaster, trust me, I know it's real swift. Yeah. You'll see some turns and stuff and be like, I thought she was good. And it's like, I am. It's just some days and just,
No, I heard it. It's, grief is a weird thing. I don't think anyone would ever be able to perfectly describe it and put it into words because, like you said, it's so... One day you're good, one day you're laughing and happy and smiling and appreciative of the moment, and then other days it's like, this is the worst thing. Like, why me? And it's so much to it. I guess the next thing I want to ask, do you still feel the love from the community? Because obviously when something first happens, everybody's there and kind of large heaves and stuff like that. As time goes on and people start kind of moving back to their lives, do you still feel the love right now today?
I do. And I think because I'm not looking for anything in particular, right? It's like, I feel the love that like the seeds he sowed into the earth, I see the fruits of it, right? I can see it in different various types of ways. People still show love to him. And that's something for me. It makes me proud to know like that he made such an imprint while he was here, so that makes me proud. And that's like love coming to me to like, just be, honored to have been connected to such a person, and me to be able to validate like everybody else that didn't maybe know him as closely, right. For them to still feel the things that I felt on a daily in different types of ways, right? I just feel proud, like I'm honored, like you were amazing. And it wasn't just me personally who believed like that, or the people that, your family or people that you helped or whatever. It wasn't just them. The world saw it. So that fills me with love.
Right, for sure. And it's great to give, him his flowers and everything like that. But I want to give you your flowers because the thing that really stuck with me last year, in November, the day of, I was writing the story and everything, and I was getting more details. And then when I came across Black Men Deserve to Grow Old, that really hit home for me. And just the human aspect of everything. The fact that you've been doing this work for years because you have been affected by it previously. Let the people know what you have going on with Black Men Deserve to Grow Old.
Yes, so Black Men Deserve to Grow Old. That was a campaign, an initiative that I started after losing my brother to gun violence in Memphis as well. And, I'm from Detroit originally. So, Detroit is a place where a lot of crime, it was, written with crime and Black communities especially. That's where I grew up. And so, I can remember as far back as like being in fourth grade and like my little fourth grade crush, like he didn't get killed in fourth grade, but I met him when I was in fourth grade. But when we got to about ninth grade, or it was, I can't even remember. It was somewhere where I was really, really young and he was killed by a gang member. And I remember how that made me feel even then. And I'm going back that far because when I talk to my therapist, she's like, when you go back and look into your past, you can understand how you were being prepared for your future. And so that was just something that kind of like death just had its way with me, and I would really just feel like internalized a lot. So moving past, it's always been something I've been extremely scared of. Right. Like just, I was terrified of it in different ways from being younger, right? So then when I get to losing, I lost my dad when I was 19. Mm-hmm. And so it wasn't to gun violence or anything, but I think it was just having to process and accept death. Mm-hmm. And I like kind of just ran from it. It was like, I don't want to talk about him. I don't want to think about him. Like, I want to go on with my life. I don't want to feel this hurt and this pain. Right. I was 19. I didn't know, right? So fast forward to when I lost my brother. I'm 31 years old, and I've come so far in terms of experiences to really understand life a little bit more. Right. So I lose him, somebody who meant so much to me. Like, if anybody has ever seen my daughter, my son and my daughter, they're like 3 years apart and they're very close. Yeah. That was like, you see them, you see me. Right. You see us, right? And so I was so close to my brother. He was a supporter of mine. He was always there for me, just my guy, you know? Mm-hmm. So for that to happen, I was so devastated. And I couldn't believe it. And I had a hard time with it, you know, because that was my first, something that, you know, growing up, death was not that thing for me, you know? So for me to have to face it as a grown-ass woman, I'm like, what do I do with this? And so I just, you know, just tried to squeeze as much meaning and purpose and life out of such a devastating, traumatic moment for me. And so that's what started my journey. So fast forward, this long story, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You got all the time you want. This is a new SD card. This got an hour and 50, so you got time.
Don't tell me what a good time, okay? No, but, you know, so my brother, I'm just like, I have to find a way to accept this because this is extremely hard for me. And during that time, I had Adolph's support. Like, he was so supportive of me. Just so supportive of me. So it was one of them things to where it was like I had about a year worth of time to learn how to accept pain. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And how to push through it and find purpose and squeeze purpose. So, you know, by August of 2021, I started my business, The Mom and CEO, because of my brother conversation we had. So fast forward, that was in 2020 when my brother passed. He passed in May of 2020. So by August, I was inspired by him to breathe life into that, right? So then by August of 2021, I'm still like, okay, I'm connecting with this me being accepted with the passing of my brother. I'm connecting with him. I want to do something to honor him, right? So I'm like, I'm going to do this campaign called Black Men Deserve to Grow Old. And I want to honor him. I'm releasing it. I released it on his birthday. And I was like, you know, I want to honor him. I want to be able to help to support his family because I see his wife every day, you know, or not I see her every day, but I talk to her often and I can feel the hurt that she has. Like, you know, that, you know, me, like Adolph was super supportive of her. Like my family, it was just like, we just felt like we had to give of ourselves to help to support her, you know, and I felt like I wanted to do that. Like, I want to do something to help to support her. You know, I like to let her know I got her back, but more importantly for me, so my brother, as he looking down, he can know, like, I got your family. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you always have my back. Like, I got your back. Yeah. Like, you know, so.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. And so that was the approach that I had learned to take. So that was August of 2021. I was pushing it forward. You know, you reach out to certain people, and not like it's a bad thing. Like, even to certain people, it's timing with everything, and I accept that. But different people was just like, it wasn't the time. Mm-hmm. Like, they were just like, you know, I'm gonna let you know, whatever, and that's fine. And literally, I remember getting on a call. I ended up helping 3 families, my brother's family and 2 other families that were impacted by gun violence. And they're the men of their households or their sons have been taken, right? Mm-hmm. So I was on a call with them, and I was like, listen, I don't know how I'm going to get to the goal. I had a goal to sell like 3,000 shirts. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get to this goal. But I prayed about it, and it's something that's been laid on my heart that, like, you know, it's gonna come together, right? And it was literally like the craziest thing. What I told them in the meantime, I want y'all to connect with the therapist that I'm connecting you with, and I want you to connect with the financial advisor, just so you can be able to like start to heal and feel supported through what y'all going through. And it was just like, to me, I feel like in doing all of that, when Adolph was taken from me, it was like I had no idea that like I would have to come to accept that. Like, and it was just like, I don't know, like to this day, it gives me chills, because it's just like, I can't believe that I like learned how to accept death, to be able to accept a death that's the hardest. Like, it's like I gotta accept it. I gotta help my kids to accept it. And so, yeah, like Black men deserve to grow old. It gave me even more meaning. It gave me even more meaning. And I just was like, I don't know why. Like, I don't know why I had to learn or get so familiar, connected with death like this, right? But the fact that I have, and the fact that it's a problem, and it's been a problem since, I was little. Like, people, like, I grew up in a community where young men was getting killed and taken, right? And we just all just kind of like, rest in peace, fly high. That's always been a thing. And it's like, I'm tired. Like, I literally feel like, listen, I don't want to continue to accept this. It's certain things I'm going to have to learn to accept and push through to accept, but I don't want to continue just to have to accept this because of how our communities are. I got to do something about it even more. And I don't be wanting to do nothing about it even more, because I really just want to be able to exist and heal. And like, this is not easy. Like, I don't want to be a face of something that has brought me an immense amount of pain. I don't want to, I don't. But it's like, I feel like, honestly, in the deepest parts of me, like, I don't have a choice. Because I've been faced to accept something so real, so hurtful, so deep. So many people, they're dealing with this too and don't even know how to process it. Like, you need to continue to not accept this thing. Try to make a change as it regards to this thing, and like help some people come to acceptance in a healthy, positive way, so they won't crash out or take their lives or just give up. It's like, let them know that it's still something meaningful on the other side. And that's why I stand here in my brokenness, in my pain, in my hurt, still fighting to accept. I'm standing here just really pushing through, because I feel like it's a greater purpose and a greater cause to my hurt and my pain. So that's how Black men deserve to grow old came about.
Oh, it's okay. Go ahead. You can go ahead. First things first, sorry for your losses.
Thank you.
And the second thing, the reason why it connected so much with me is because, like, you think it's something I wasn't thinking about. Like you said, it's something that it's a Black experience in America.
Yeah.
Like, it happens, and then they're like, long live so-and-so, the hashtags come out, they play some music outside the funerals, and they wave the shirts, and then like you go about life, and it happens again. And then when I saw that on your page, I was like, dang, I was thinking about all my homies I lost. Yeah. Like, before 25, and I'm like, dang, like, this happens like everywhere. And this I didn't realize. And then even, when you even go beyond violence and killings, when you go to like just stress and trauma, and those things lead to diseases and high blood pressure and cancer, and Chadwick, and and then tragedy. Like, I'm like, man, this is tough. Like, it's really tough to accept. And I feel like I really connected with the message and the campaign and everything like that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But I really connected with it, and I know everybody else around the country in Black America really connected with it. You talked about how, like, it's not really fair for you to have to be the face of that, and for you to You know, I was talking to. I know I'm skipping now.
No, it's okay. Because I was long-winded.
Right.
I could. Woo.
I'm skipping to a whole nother thing now, but I was talking to Louis Reed. Louis Reed, he did like, I believe, 15 or 20 years behind bars. He came out and he worked for Jay-Z's Reform Alliance, where, you know, they work for the wrongly imprisoned and try to get them out and everything like that. A lot of social justice, positive work. I've interviewed him a couple times with that. He called me earlier this week and said, yo, Rashad, just wanted to let you know I left the organization. I'm still cool with everybody. It's a great organization. They're doing great work. But I realized after going on Breakfast Club and talking to Charlemagne that every time I was helping someone else get out their situation, it was just bringing up my trauma again. Mm-hmm. And it was really bad for my mental health. I had to step away from that line of work for just a little bit, you know, because I just kept thinking about my experiences.
Exactly.
You, what you've been doing the past year, I've been watching it, you know, because I used to live in Jackson. So it's like, you know, I'm kind of in that Memphis area I used to be. And so I've seen you do these community events, do these interviews and everything like that. And you keep having to bring it up and relive it. Just how have you dealt with that? Do you still want to do it? Is there any point in life where you're like, I need to step away from doing interviews? Or are you like you said, you have a greater purpose and there's a reason for this pain?
So everything, I think you said his name is Louis?
Louis, yeah.
Louis, everything, I totally echo that. And I don't, you know, like, it's like, I don't want to do it, right? I don't want to be here. I don't want to, when I say be here, I'm talking about be in this situation. I want my family back. Makes no mistakes. Like, if I could go back to rewind and be like, okay, you know, the day when, like, back when my family was told none of this would, like, that's what I would prefer if I had a choice in the matter. Like, you talking about my wants and my desires, that's what I desire. I'm here because I feel like I gotta, at some point it may come to a place where it's like,
I can't do it anymore.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
And it may even be like with weeks, because even within weeks, you know, I'll be like, I can't. Like, if you be like, I ain't see her in a while, it's like, just know that's when I'm taking care of myself. Right. That's when I'm like really, really kind of, I'm fasting. I'm taking a mental break to just like get realigned, or, you know, whatever the case may be. Like, I'm doing that work on myself, and I don't put that type of pressure on myself, but I still know that at some time I can pause, you know what I'm saying? I can pivot, but I can't quit. Like, I can't quit until this message is not just a hashtag, until this message just can't be, you know, something that we wearing around, like, oh, that's some dope apparel. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's a dope, you know, that's Dolph on your shirt. Like, it's more to it than that. Like, Dolph means everything. Like, to me, my family, my children, like, what I want is him here. But I had to accept that he can't be here with me. And I hate that that's one of the hardest acceptances. Like, literally last night, my daughter was just like, I think for all of us, we're on this, it's something about the time frame that we're in. I ain't about to say it's Mercury retrograde. I don't know any of that, right? But I know spiritually, the time frame that we're in, nearing so close to when it's like the last memory that was made was on November 16th, 15th or something like that, 2021. Like, I'm nearing in that time where no memories after that point will be made. And I think it's just something about, like, we've gone through a whole year. Like, we have our ups and downs, but something about this time right now, you could, any, mini, miny, mo, me and my children, like, one of us are having a breakdown, like this immense, like just lamenting, like, just, like, so, like just overwhelmed with emotion. Like, my daughter literally just kind of like, I really miss Daddy. I really want to see him. And I was like, she was like, can we look at some old videos? We got in the bed, started looking at old videos. Me, her, my son. My son was like, I got an idea. Let's like, we got like a basketball hoop on the back of the door. He's like, let's shoot hoops, and anybody who make it, they get to say a good memory about Daddy. And I'm like, come on, let's do that. So we did that. We looking at the videos. We got so many funny family videos. Like, we had so much fun together. And we just laughing. The kids were so small, and it was like it doesn't even feel that long ago. But we just started having fun and being silly, and it was those laughs that just healed us in that moment. Like we had our moment to cry and to have that, and then we pushed through it. You know what I'm saying? And we reminisced, and we just upheld the memory of him. And we went to sleep. We said our prayers, and we went to sleep. But we all feel so just full. Like I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. I can try, but like it just feels heavy right now, and just like it's in a real longing for,
right?
You know.
Right.
So I don't know. Like I can to get back to your question.
But no, you got to think. People need to hear this. Like when people see your interviews, that's how they know. Like it's millions of fans, right? So it's millions of fans that want to know how you're doing. So like when you get these out, like don't hold back. People want to know how you holding up. How's the family doing? Because they care. You know what I'm saying? So like don't apologize or anything like that. People really want to know how you guys are doing, and so they know what to pray for.
Yeah, no, for sure.
They need to have a specific prayer. Like I'm praying for them. They're feeling this. They're feeling this. Lord, we pray for this. They need to know the specifics.
For sure, I appreciate that. I really do.
But we were talking about Lewis always dealing with the trauma of working in the field of the thing that he got out of.
Exactly.
And you say that's something that you can connect with.
Exactly. And I ran from it. And for a long time, I was like, I don't want to do that. Like, they were like, people want to hear and then when I say they, I'm talking about like my team. I'm like, I want to focus on the Mama CEO. Like, that's fun. I'm connecting with girlfriends. We can go to brunch. I want to do all the fun, cute stuff right now. Because on the other side is ugly. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be cute on this side. And that's what I was choosing. But it's like, right now, people need to hear your pain right now so they can connect and know that this is real. We need to do something about it, because today is my pain. Right. It can be anybody else's pain. The same pain that I'm feeling that I'm is so familiar to me, too familiar with me. Somebody else can feel that, and when you feel it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think we always move around like it can't be us. You see something, it be like, dang, man, that's messed up for them.
That's crazy, yeah.
But it's like, at any point, you know what I'm saying? It can be anybody.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm trying to get y'all to, maybe if you feel my pain, you'll be like, I don't want to feel that pain.
Right.
We need to do something about it. You know what I'm saying? It's in terms of black on black crime and stuff like that, like, it's been so many conversations like we can't talk about that. It's a divisive tactic. It's like, I get that argument. I get it. It's such an intellectual, like, it sounds great. But and I get it. I get the logic. But I'm like, listen, you focused on a mood point. Like, that's cool and all, but it's still a problem. So what are we going to do about the problem?
Insanity is the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Yeah, Spike Lee used to have movies about this. I don't know, like, I think he got a movie that's out, like, where it's literally talking about what we do in our communities and trying to fix it. And it's like, it's not being heard. Right. Why? This is happening like probably every day. Everywhere. Why are we not making this a big deal, a priority to be like, we need to figure something out? Like,
the suburbs, everywhere, the country, and it's not just the city, it's not just urban, it's not just the hood, it's everywhere now.
And it is.
But I wanted to kind of move along with speaking on that. Oh, I feel like brunch and Mom the CEO, like, that is needed as well. That's also necessary because people need, like, it doesn't need to always be like, because sometimes it's like, all right, we know the reality of being black. Like, we know the reality of living as a black people in America. Sometimes you want a beautiful distraction from that and have entertainment and have brunch and have a laughter and good time and stuff. So I feel like it's a balance. It's yin and yang.
I agree, and you're totally right. But I think for me, I had to make a decision, like, in terms of how my life is now prioritized. And then I got to ask myself, like, okay, well, now what do you have capacity to handle?
Right.
2 brands, 2 missions. Like, I'm passionate about both of them.
Right.
So I need to do that for myself. That beautiful distraction you were speaking of. So I need to, like, it doesn't need to be something that I'm trying to carry, you know what I'm saying, on my back. Like, it's like, no, take off the backpack. You're about to go by yourself. Hit up your girlfriend.
Yeah.
You need to participate in that stuff. A beautiful distraction, but a healing experience. Something where you have to, you know, like, get pretty and feel pretty, you know, pretty up the situation, right? So that's true. But in terms of my purpose and really trying to garner change in a place and like in a place that really matters, that can impact my son's future, my nephew's future, my kids' future. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is way more meaningful. That is way more meaningful to me than having just a good time. So I had to make the executive decision. Shout out to Kevin Hart. Every time I say that, I think of him. He had a comedy show. But I had to make the executive decision just to, like, Black men deserve, it has to ring into the hearts and the minds of our people so we can do something about it and curb the thing that is 6 times more likely taking our lives than any other race's lives, right? Like, violence, black on black violence towards each other. Like, we need to do something about it.
Right. Okay, so that was my next question of the alternatives, right? So say so-and-so's mad at so-and-so because he didn't get money, jealous, and blah, blah, blah. I guess, what are the alternatives that you suggest? Just fighting, fist fighting, or, like, what is it?
No, I think that the alternative is with the popular thing that everybody is talking about, mental health, right? When I was in college, I recognized that I had I came from Detroit, so contrary to what I looked like, right? I used to fight a lot when I was coming up, right? And I don't know, I would be ready. So I get it. I'm not like, and it'll probably be hard for people to believe, but, like, yes, for a long time I would get mad and it'll be like, oh, it's not no talking. I want to fight. So, right? Just is what it is.
Ain't nothing to talk about.
Ain't nothing to talk about, but that's ignorant in the mud. Like, it's plenty to talk about. So open up your mouth. And I would, like, as I was getting older, my friends in high school and stuff, they like, I never got in a fight. And I'm like, you be talking so, and she was like, I just talk myself out of fights. I'm not about to fight somebody. And I was like, that's weird. Like, but as I got older and I got to college, I realized, like, you are the problem, right? Like, I changed in some ways, you know, like, but I started to realize, like, you have, like, you maybe need to control your emotions a little bit better because you're doing too good. And I remember going to, it was at my college, like, they offer like $7 counseling. And I went, and the guy ended up saying, he gave me a sheet of paper and was like, when you get upset and something is, like, really upset, it was like this sheet to take you through your emotions. Like, ask yourself this question. He was like, I want you to, like, print off a couple of these and just keep them in your car. Like, if you at a red light and you impatient and you blowing crazy and cussing people out, like, I want you to break something as small as that down so you can learn, like, it don't take all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, emotion is good, but you need to be able to manage them. And that was my starting point of my journey. It probably started a little bit before that, but me digging deep into my mental health to understand why I reacting or acting in these types of ways. And so it helps because at that point you can't control all these scenarios, but you can control yourself and how you respond. Right. So getting in touch with, like, why you get so mad if somebody like jealousy,
right?
Like, work on yourself to the point to where you can be happy for somebody and not want to take what they have or be jealous of them.
Crazy.
Like, that's something that you can work on yourself. Nobody else can do it. So I think that I don't say fight, you know? I think that's because somebody from there gonna get even more mad. Like, it's like,
because if you beat someone bad, then they're gonna be like, oh man, I gotta get him back. I can't.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna try to jump him, and then they're gonna try to jump them. And
I think it's really, like, for real, just continuing with pushing how important mental health is, especially in our community, because it's people that's the reason they're mad. If they dig into why they're mad, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a reason. They got some trauma, some built up trauma, some hurt, some stuff they done seen, some traumatic experiences and all of that type of stuff. And you bottle that into a person, you know, like, I come along and I want to disturb their peace. Didn't even know I was doing it or whatever. It could go there. So, but it's like, everybody in the situation, like, just be able to control yourself and know how to do that and know how to properly diffuse situations and heal that hurt, even the one that you don't even think exists, but it does, because everything that we experience in life, it has an effect on us.
And I guess what are you guys doing at Black Men to, I guess, address mental health and help people in the community?
So Black Men Deserve, it's a for-profit, right? Most people think it's a nonprofit. And it's not. It's a for-profit where, from every purchase, we donate 25% into, like, we place it into a fund, right? And from that fund, we do things like we send out gas cards, because our mission is to help to amplify the voices of grassroots organizations. So we get connected. We're like connecting, like, hey, if you know a grassroots organization, we like building relationships right now, because we still fresh, we young, we infants. Black Men Deserve. So we establishing the relationships, because what started out as a campaign has now evolved, right? So it's an evolution process, and I have to remind people, like, I only got so much bandwidth, I only got so much capacity. I'm pushing as hard as I can, but it's like, I'm not a Fortune 500.
Right.
That's not what I am.
Not Bill Gates.
I'm not Bill Gates, and I'm not a whole lot of other. It's a business that is growing slowly, because I can't even process that it's a business.
Right.
It's like so it's like I'm taking my time, but in the process, it's like I'm helping people. I'm like, let me send out gas cards. It's an organization in Seattle where it's called the Rise for Us campaign, and I met the founder, and she puts together different types of programs for women who have experienced the loss of their loved ones, their spouses, or whatever. So she does that, and I'm like, let me send something. You gotta, like, that's her nonprofit. Let me support you. Let me when y'all got something going, call me, Lanaya. That's how I am. Like, hit me up, because I do want to be able to be present, be able to help to further the message, your work that you're doing, and others. That's what I'm looking for, because I can't do it all.
Right.
But the people who doing it, the people who trying to make a difference.
Right.
Hey, listen, you got my support, and my platform is yours too. I extend it.
Right.
And so that's what Black Men Deserve to Grow Old is looking to do, to help individual families and to amplify the voices of grassroots organizations in the community.
Right. And, for that, where can people go on the website to purchase, Instagram, social media, all that good stuff?
So you can go to blackmendeservetogrowold.com. We even got it shortened, BMDTGO.com. You can go on Instagram, Black Men Deserve to Grow Old, at Black Men Deserve to Grow Old. And, when you go on there, like, it's updates that's going into place, but you can submit, like, we want to remember our loved ones, encourage people to remember their name. And so if you know someone, or you have a cousin, a brother, a dad, or something that you lost to gun violence, we want to remember their name. So you can submit their story, their name on our website, and then we'll go ahead and acknowledge them on our social media page. And that type of stuff. My goal with Black Men Deserve is to have people to connect themselves to it. I feel like with Adolph being there, everybody's connected to him because they love him, the artist he was, and for different reasons. But it still is a disconnect, because it's like, you don't see yourself really in that, like how it can impact you, right? So, and then, or you forgot, like, kind of like the person that you could have lost. So what we're gonna start doing in November, we're gonna launch where you can customize it. You can put your own family member or loved one's face on there, so you can connect with Black Men Deserve to Grow Old. Because when I look down, this man, this boy, they deserve to grow old, and that's meaningful to me, and that's what I want to do. Like, I want people to connect with the message as you advocate as a walking billboard, that, like, you're believing what you're wearing because it resonates with you and your spirit. And so that's my goal, is for it to connect, and so we can all come together and be trying to figure out what can we do individually better. What can we do as we come in together as a community, as supporting different organizations? What can we do? And that's what I want to invoke in people. Like, what can you do? And do it. And I think collectively, within time, that we can curb this violence, we can curb this genocide, like, we can curb some things, because that's what it is in these Black communities, especially, and I'm speaking directly to our community because that's where I'm impacted by it from. So we can do something about it. We can curb it, and that's my goal.
On the legislative level, with voting, it is election season.
It is.
Shameless plug. I guess, how do you feel about gun control? I know that that's a hard transition from, like, to, like, political, but.
And I'm a person, I'm very slow to speak when it comes down to politics. and things politically, because I feel like you have to sit with it for a minute,
Right.
you know, and I'm still sitting with it because I'm emotional about it on one hand, but on another hand, you know, because I can feel like, you know, it doesn't need to be there because look at what happened, right? And then on the other hand, it's like, well, it need to be there because you need to take care of yourself because this is what happened. It's just like, it's so many facets to it all that I really like am very so slow to speak on my opinion of it. And I feel like opinions are very valuable. People weighing in on somebody's opinion, like holding on, like what's she about to say? I'm on that one or whatever. And I just don't want to.
Ye lost $2 billion in a day for sharing his opinions.
And to me, I'm like, it ain't even about the money. It's just, we are very responsible. When you in a place of impression, you can influence somebody. You got to be very responsible with what you do, what you say. You know, we all gonna, like, we're not perfect. You're not gonna be perfect, the most responsible person. So you may slip up or whatever, and that's cool. But just know your intention needs to go in with the responsibility. And so what you say, it's consequences that's attached to that. You know, it's also people that's listening and like ready to follow what you say. So just be very responsible with it. And that's just, I don't even try to get too much into it.
I feel like a lot of artists and like just people in general could really take that advice. That was a very intelligent response and everything because both, so yeah. And I really respected that response. Is there anything else that you really want people to know about what you have going on, about anything that you already didn't mention in this interview?
I don't think so. I mean, I can't think of anything, no. I just really want people to, like I said, my goal is for us to allow what's happening in our community to really resonate, you know? Like, I know we can all be like, let's just focus on getting the money and getting about the community and move away. Yeah. But that doesn't solve the problem. And that problem, like you said, it's migrating everywhere. You ain't safe.
Buckhead, you're not safe in Buckhead. You're not safe in Brookhaven. You're not safe in Gwinnett. You're not safe in Cobb, Sandy Springs.
Yeah, I mean, and the list goes on. So it's like, listen, y'all, let's do something about it. Like, this is like an era of intelligence, yet so much ignorance. And I choose intelligence because something needs to be done. So I need to intelligently think about that and focus on that. And not just this thing, it's so many things that continuously needs to be done. This is one of many, right? And so, but as like the one that you prioritize, like, what am I going to do something about? I just pray that people prioritize this message and advocate for it, you know, from a very pure space in their heart, because so we can garner change with that.
I do have one last question. This is another opinion question, so you can pass on that. I do wonder how you feel about lyrics. Do you think the content needs to change at all?
Again, I think we have to be responsible with the things that we say. And I have said this not too long ago. Like, if we can, do you believe in manifestation? Let's do that. So, right, a lot of people do. Right now, people can say, man, 2, 3, 4 years ago, 7 years ago, I manifested that I wanted to be here and I'm here today. So many people can agree to that. It's like, what's the difference between that and then saying something very dark or something else, right? And even if you're like, well, I mean, that don't even matter because, see, I was doing music. I don't think that God, the universe, the higher power is sitting there sifting through when you real or when you not.
Right.
You said it, like, said the tongue is the matter, the matter between life and death or whatever. Right. Like, it's a fine line. So it's like, of course we gotta watch what we say.
Biggie's album, Ready to Die.
We gotta watch what we say. Like, seriously. And it's like, you can go down the list. It's a lot of things. It's a lot imagery. The tongue, like, this thing is serious, you know. But I think that's why I said we in an age of intelligence yet ignorance. Like, I don't think people really realize how spiritual of a realm that we're in. Like, it sounds so mystical. It sounds so, oh, now you about to jump off the cliff and start talking that. I think people really be wanting to just chalk it up as that, but really it's like, if you believe in manifestation,
Right. Yeah.
please believe in how your words could be your demise.
It doesn't just go one way. It
does
isn't
not.
just with the positive.
And I think that's where we come into. We always want the pot. Like, we want it to always go this way. The other side in life, we all don't want to deal with the other side.
Right.
Only the upside. The downside is like, are you there for the good and the bad?
Man.
You know, and I think a lot of us...
I be trying to tell folks, man. Yeah, but go ahead, continue.
No, I mean, we want to take the good.
Right.
We don't want to take the bad. We being built down, like broken down. Like we don't even want to build up to be tough enough to accept the bad. Right. And I think that's where I'm at. And my bad, like I didn't have a whole lot of good. My life with Adolph was good. Like I had a good man. Like my man was that. Like Adolph was a good man. He was a good man to me. He was a good man to my family. And that's why I say it makes me proud to see him still celebrated and honored in that way, because he deserves it. He was a good man. And when he was here, the life he provided for me, his children, his family, his sisters, his brothers, his grandmother, like whoever is extended connected to him, man. And it's not just the giving. It's just so much just giving of him and experiencing him. He gave us all a great experience. So that's the good. I gotta now accept the bad too, and then find meaning and still speak life even during the bad times. And that's why I'm standing here. That's an illustration of that. Like I gotta still speak life, watch my words, be responsible to my children, to myself first, to my children, to people that's looking and watching me. Like I have to be responsible with what I speak. Like, because like I said, it's a matter between life and death. And I'm just going to you just hold on to my faith and keep pushing and, you know, just encourage others, like just watch what you say, watch what you're putting out here.
100. How thankful were you for Dion and Jackson State for kind of welcoming you guys and honoring Dolph the way they had?
I was super honored, and to be all the way honest, when Adolph told me about a conversation he and Dion had, right? Literally, I was like, you need more friends like him. I love him. Like, you know, like he just is such a wise man. Like, and that was my thought. He was telling me a story, and that was my thought. Like, I really like him. He dope. Like, yes, more like that's a grown man for you. And I respected him, and I knew who he was from football. From a football, but barely, because I ain't even into sports like that. Like it's like I do. Of course, everybody know Deion Sanders, but I don't keep up with sports, or just how influential he was, like, and when he was telling me about him and everything, and he loved him, like he was like, man, it's prime time. And I was like, why they call it prime time? Like I was that great, you know. And when he broke it down, I was like, dang, he pretty dope. Like that's the type of influence and like mentorship, even for Adolph, And it was hard to be Adolph's mentor or whatever, but I was like, that's good for him. So I liked Dion even then and just respected him. And then how he showed, and then I understood why he went so hard like that, why his son went so hard like that, why their family goes so hard for Adolph, because Adolph was real with them, and they developed and they bonded. And like I said, I witnessed that myself when he was telling me a story. So I wasn't surprised. I was just proud. I was glad that he did that. And he wanted to honor him in that way.
Well, I appreciate it so much. I'll let you get out of here. We ran a little over and stuff like that.
Sorry.
No. We're good. But I guess where can the people follow you, if anything like that? If anything else you want to plug, this is your time.
Yeah. So I would just say tap into me. I am Mia Jaye on Instagram. Black men deserve to grow old. That's all spelled out. No funny spelling. But black men deserve to grow old. And the Mama CEO, like I said, right now, that is on ice, chilling out, waiting for my, vacation from it. But, I'll still be doing things to connect and just inspiring people. My team will still be showing up to inspire women to be stand-up women, bosses, right? And be responsible bosses, not just be saying it, but being about it, right? So if you want to tap in with the Mama CEO, that is all spelled out, and that's about it.
All right, well, you guys heard it here first. Rashad Milligan rolling out. Mia Jaye is beautiful here at Rolling Out. Just a couple years ago, when Dolph was on the cover, he was talking about injustices and the things he was fighting for and the causes he was fighting for. In the same outlet to see, you come along and spread a similar message. It's very powerful and impactful. I don't want anyone to forget that. And, you know, you guys are always in our prayers.
Thank you.
We don't forget just because time is going on. And, you know, we're not going to forget. We're going to keep bumping. We're going to keep him in our memory, and he's going to live in all of our hearts forever. So thank you guys. Rolling on. Until next time, take care of yourselves.